Welcome to podcast 9 in the series of Who Let the Master Out. Now, we're making fast ground going through the tools that will help us build the foundation for letting our inner master out. But for more details on these building blocks, please check out my previous podcast series of Coming Back from Fear and The Power of Choice. I'm going to have books based on these podcasts also available in December of 2017 and then January and February of 2018. So far, we've reviewed the I Am Love meditations, which ground us in our true worth as we become aware of the amazing, supernatural beings we really are. We recited the Spice Cake Mantra, which helps keep our perspective clear as we move through our day-to-day challenges, realizing that without any frosting or anything else added to us, we are still one frickin' awesome spice cake. We also looked into how breathing, prayer, and meditation keep our minds calm and bring us back to this moment. We have a huge audience of loving, invisible supporters cheering us on in our adventure. This episode, we are going to have a crash course bullet pointing the largest concepts of the Coming Back from Fear book and podcasts. For more expansive, detailed information, you can check out the podcast series by that name, of course. Okay, ready, set, go. Number 1, we come from a place of unconditional love to this place of conditions, not as punishment, but because we choose to get to know more about who we really are. White paint on a white canvas is hard to see the beautiful piece of artwork, but place it on a black canvas and wow. Number 2, emotional monsters aren't really real. But for the movie playing in our head, we'll cast many characters, including monsters, demons, vampires, and villains. Our body will still react to these made-up characters as if they are real because it doesn't know that they aren't yet. Number 3, our fear ego takes on and develops conditional love laws from very young childhood until we awaken, if we awaken in this lifetime. We get them passed down to us from generation to generation, and we're inundated with them through the media and the internet, books and movies, virtually anywhere we turn. We fear breaking these rules and conditions because we think we will be rejected and deemed unlovable and unacceptable. 4, we are taught to define ourselves by the external things. These are unstable, and they're designed to disappoint us and turn us inward. People change or they die. Situations never stay the same. And things or possessions, they deteriorate, they break, or they're stolen. Huge disappointments. Number 5, we were in paradise before we got the inkling to start judging and comparing each other to our conditional love laws. It is not wrong and it is not right. It just is. It's why we came here, to contrast ourselves against the darkness of conditional love. Number 6, whether real or not, our bodies will kick into fight or flight mode when it has a perceived threat. And this will do many things to our bodies, causing allergies, autoimmune disorders, high blood pressure, heart issues, headaches, insomnia, chronic pain, arthritis, panic and anxiety disorders, chronic fatigue, obesity, irritable bowel syndrome, gastrointestinal problems, skin disorders, acne, eczema. Holy moly. And this is one of the reasons bringing people back from their fears is a passion of mine, because it can save your life and make it a more healthy one. Number 7, we can use our emotions as flags that something can be looked at inside of us. Judging others, judging ourselves, or becoming defensive are 3 huge signs that we are in the mindset of conditional love. Number 8, there are helpers that assist us in coming out of fight or flight mode. Slow, deep breaths, taking responsibility for our own emotions, letting go of control, using our time machine, sparking our power of choice, and the use of high-quality essential oils. There are things we can do to distract us back out of fear, like reminders and meditation and the such as well. Number 9, when we are calm, we can use different techniques to get to the root of our fears and change our habit from a reaction to a response. Reaction being an out-of-control emotional response, responding being a controlled emotional response. Number 10, we can begin a new life where we focus daily on our breathing, questioning our fears, and reminding ourselves and others that we are unconditionally loved. So those are their top 10. Distracting ourselves from panic mode is really the first step. Gaining mastery over our emotions is part of this, and we discover our power of choice through the process. At first, we might be afraid to admit that we are gaining control over our own emotions. Our fear ego wants someone else to blame because if we alone are responsible for our own feelings, then we are responsible for our unhappy, imperfect lives. But when we are patient with ourselves, we can move past this fear and realize 4 things. A, we didn't come here to have a perfect life. B, there are no rules except those forced upon us by others. C, our life is perfect just the way it is. We came here to experience all these uncomfortable emotions, so no matter what is happening, we are experiencing. And that exactly is what we came here to do. It's perfect. And D, when we move beyond our victimhood mentality, we realize we are powerful, supernatural, eternal beings made of unconditional love. We are making a choice every second to either love unconditionally or to fear losing conditional love. I know that's a lot of information. Thankfully, you can listen to this podcast as many times as you want and listen to the other podcasts too. They each deal with at least one of these points that I mentioned. And of course, if you prefer it in writing, as I mentioned, the books will be available shortly if they aren't already out, depending on when you are listening to this podcast. So next episode, we'll have a quick boot camp about our superpowers. But until then, break the cycle. Be free. Be big. Because we're giants in a world of giants who have been taught that we're weak and small. It's time to rise. It's time to let your master out.